Welcome back to VHS Tacos, everybody. As you can see, I am flying solo. Mrs. Taco was asleep by the time I got back. As you can tell by my shirt, just got back from the Transformers Rise of the Beasts IMAX fan event, which was fantastic in more ways than one, but we will get to that a little bit later. We haven't had a Transformers movie since 2018's Bumblebee. It was a great movie. It was so heartfelt. It was loving. It had an amazing opening sequence set on Cybertron. It was perfect in every way, but nobody showed up for it. Why? So here we are, a whopping 5 years later, and we have, is it a sequel? Is it a reboot? Everybody's been kind of coy about that. Fortunately, about halfway through the movie, we get confirmation with some dialogue between Optimus and B that this is in fact a sequel to Bumblebee. The big question here is that without Michael Bay's flair, boom, flash, all of that obnoxiousness that comes with a Bay flick, will the Transformer movie succeed? And the answer is a resounding hell yeah. This time around, we seem to have a new creative team that actually loves and cares and respects the Transformers, the mythos, and then understands what people want when they go to a Transformers movies. Now, yes, we do have humans. We have a couple main humans. We have 3 really total. And you know what? They're not bad. They're not annoying. They're not obnoxious. They don't overstay their welcome. They don't have any kind of like weird, very uncomfortable jokes or interactions or anything like that. They're actually lovable people. People that you can kind of get yourselves attached to, especially the little kid. The younger brother, he is adorable, and you will find yourself attached almost immediately, especially when he starts to share some scenes with Pete Davidson's Mirage. It's really cute. Bumblebee really set a precedent for that, and it's nice to see that this movie continued that pace there. Another thing that Bumblebee set a precedent for is Transformers. The actual designs, the way that they interacted with each other, just their mannerisms, basically the whole way that they were characterized. They felt like actual Transformers, not somebody's recollection through a game of telephone of what they think the Transformers acted like, which is what we got in the Bay flicks. Peter Cullen is back as Optimus, and he's fantastic. This is honestly probably the most fun you can feel him have as Optimus. We were at a point where Optimus isn't this like crazed, battle-hardened leader where nothing phases him. He's losing. He's losing. He's losing his home. He's losing his friends. He's losing his people. He's unsure of where to go next and what to do. Peter Cullen really sells it. But for the first time, or at least that I can recall, this is an Optimus here that isn't afraid in a live-action movie to crack a joke. And he has a really solid joke at the end of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it here. He has a great one-liner, which is supposed to be intentionally funny. And it's great. The entire crowd erupted. It was a solid one. As I previously mentioned, we do have Pete Davidson as Mirage. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about him going in. Pete Davidson's been kind of hit or miss for me, but I got to tell you, he stole the show. He was fantastic. He gave Mirage a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of comedy, of course, because, it is Pete Davidson, but he was nowhere near as annoying as I thought he would be. He was really, truly great, and I am very excited to see the possibility of him coming back for a sequel. Of course, you got my boy B. He's back. The less said about him, the better. Now, I'm not going to give away too many spoilers or anything like that because this movie actually has a lot of wonderful moments that the trailer really just kept under wraps, which is fantastic. Although we will talk about something pretty deep at the end, but we'll go into that later. You have the rest of the Autobot voice actors. They do pretty well. Liza Koshy plays RC. She actually does a pretty solid job with it. Then on the flip side of that coin, you do have the voice cast for the Maximals. You got Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal. He does a great job. He's a leader in his own right, but he's also not afraid to play together. He's not afraid of being one with the humans, protecting them, looking over them, which kind of opens up Optimus's eyes a little bit more, saying, okay, well, wait, if, you guys can integrate, then maybe there is some form of hope here that we can actually play ball with the humans. I don't want to delve too deep into spoilers on the other Maximal voice actors, but they do a solid job. On the baddie side of things, we have the Terracons led by Scourge. We don't have Megatron. We don't have Galvatron. We don't have Megatron posing as Galvatron. We don't have Kelsey Grammer or anything like that. We finally have a different baddie Transformer out there, and this guy packs a punch, and he is intimidating right from the jump. Literally the opening scene of the movie, you see just how intimidating this guy is, and he does serve on behalf of Unicron. And Unicron He looks amazing. He is intimidating. He is not afraid to just get exactly what he wants, and he does not care how. They nailed Unicron better than whatever we were supposed to get at the end of the last night, where Unicron's actually Earth from Michael Bay. We don't talk about that though. Continuing on with the trend of the Transformers, now we have their design. Here we have more toned down, simplified designs. Yes, you still have the mechanics and everything like that because they are vehicles, they are robots, they are cybernetic organisms, but things are a lot smoother. We have rounded off edges. There's not as many small little moving pieces and gaskets and everything like that that are exposed. They look great. I wouldn't necessarily say they're too spot on to the G1 designs, but they look great where you can see they took a lot of heavy inspiration from the G1 designs. Prime looks great. B continues to look great. RC look great. And don't even get me started on the Maximals. When Optimus Primal finally reveals himself, oh man. I've been pretty coy about spoilers through this whole thing because there's a lot of great moments that pop up throughout this movie that are best experienced with kind of a similar crowd that I had. The moments of clapping and cheering and laughing and, just shock and awe. But I will go ahead and I will address the ending of the movie. So, please, if you do not want to be spoiled by this ending, I will make it known of when it is safe to jump back in. So at the end of the movie of Anthony Ramos' character, he's going for a job interview. Things kind of take a weird little turn. The interviewer happens to know a little bit more than he should. Everything's cool though. He doesn't have any bad bone against him. He wants to recruit Ramos' character, but we're not quite sure why. He slides a business card, but Ramos doesn't pick up that business card and take a look at it fully. Interviewer walks away after he opens up this giant room, and it's this whole huge warehouse looking thing, and there's some people down there and they're doing stuff and everybody's walking around doing things. Ramos flips over that business card, and what's the business corporation on there? G.I. Joe. They are finally, if this movie is the blueprint for how they will treat the G.I. Joe franchise, oh, we are in good hands all day. Overall, I wasn't sure what to expect going into Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I pretty much was kind of fed up after the last two Bay movies. Bumblebee really reignited the interest, but then it just kind of fizzled out. But it's great to have confirmation that, yeah, this is a sequel, man, to Bumblebee, and that's great. And they handled this well. This is a movie that's made with love, care, and attention from a real, true fan and fans for the fans. If you guys were on the fence about it, I cannot recommend this movie enough. This is one of the biggest surprises for me in a great way this year. And I couldn't be any happier if I possibly tried. Like I mentioned earlier, this was a fan event, and as is the case with all Paramount fan events, we did walk out with a little bit of swag. We got a sick one-sheet poster. Look at that. Look at that artwork. A Maximals patch. Now, when it first showed that it was going to be a patch, I said, oh, well, it's cool. I just don't have any use for a patch. It really doesn't make any sense. After you see the movie, this is actually pretty clever of Paramount to include this. So kudos to you guys. I love it. If you had a chance to already check out Transformers Rise of the Beast, of course, let me know down in the comments below. If you were on the fence about it and this is swaying you one way or the other, let me know that too. Or, if you're still saying, nah, Transformers, then, that's fine, whatever, man. And until next time, guys, it's been VHS Taco signing off. I'm going to go ahead and book these tickets for Dolby before Mrs. Taco realizes to see if things really are more than meets the eye. Adios.